this is Carrie with Canary Quilts, and I am going to be starting the Skulliver paper piece pattern. This is a legit Kits design, and they exclusively do paper piece patterns, and they do big ones. This is a 80-inch, 60 by 80-inch quilt, and you can buy fabric kits for it, and I did not. So what I'm going to be showing you is I'm going to walk through the kit. You get quite a bit with these kits. I was really surprised. I've done a few paper pieces in the past, and you kind of get an outline. You get the paper pieces to work on, and then how to sew them together, but that's about it. This one really dives into the colors and everything else, so I want to show you that. So I want to walk through the kit. I have not started it yet, but it looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. I like how they laid it out. And I'm going to show you how I organized my colors, and I have to thank my mom because she helped me. We spent about 2.5 hours going through all my solids and matching up I think there's 150 colors in this quilt. So she helped me do that, so thanks, Mom. That would have taken a really long time without your help. So I'm going to kind of walk through that today and give you an idea of what these legit kits are like. So if you liked a paper piece, I'm doing Skulliver, but they have birds and cats and dogs and cars and dragons, and they'll have all kinds of kits out there. So I think they're even coming out with a Santa face. I think there's a pre-order for that right now, so you can check it out. I'll have their link down below in the description down below, so you can check out my link down there, and you can see what it's all about. So I want to update you on my sleuth block of the month that I'm doing. I was talking about that. It's where it's from JK Quilts, and we're getting a story each month for 10 months, and then the chapter comes with some blocks to put together that have something to do with the chapter or the story. So this is where I'm at. I'm 2 months in. I think the 3rd month's coming real soon, but we have a quilt shop and we have a house. We have the state of Idaho for the border. We got a paper piece key. That was fun. And the story's really good. Oh, and these tiny little stars in this truck block. But anyway, the story's really good. I'm excited to see where this goes, and this has been a lot of fun to do. But I'm not doing this per se in my video, so I just wanted to update you on that and show you what it's like. But I will have a link to that down below. I think you can still join the block of the month, but I don't think they have any fabric kits for it. But you can use your own fabrics. So anyway, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. You can watch me put this together. You can see all the other fun stuff we got going on here, and we'll just have a good time. But anyway, let's see what this pattern's all about. All right, let's dive into this Skulliver pattern. I'm gonna have to imagine this is such a nice package that all their packages are probably exactly like this. So if you wanted to dive into something, one of their kits or their patterns, you'll probably find the same things in the other ones also. So this is the title page, basically. Tells you that it's one of the faster projects. It's 60 by 80 inches. This is what it's going to look like. Whoops, sorry about that. When it's done, which I'm so excited. This is how all the paper pieces are going to go together, and they give you the pattern side and they give you the finished quilt side. All these letters you see on here are how the colors are coded. So if you see a P, that's black. The AA is probably like brick red or something like that. So that's what all those letters are. Everything in here, all these paper pieces are on 8.5 by 11-inch sheets of paper. And then they're all labeled like A1. So when you find A1 in here, it goes here. If you want a D7, you know D7 goes there. So that makes it very easy to lay out. You're not having to like put a puzzle together. So that's those. These are all the colors that are in here. She uses Kona cottons, and this may be the number of the Kona cotton right here in the middle. But here's the color, here's the letter they use in their pattern. So like I said, AA was brick red, AG champagne, wherever that is over here. You'll find out P is black. So this is your color code, and they tell you how much of each color you're going to need. It's interesting they call it a fat quarter yard. This says scrap. One of them I saw, like this one says fragment. That's 3/8 of a yard, so I may be using a couple of different colors for that because I have just fat quarters. So there's 2 pages. There is actually 106 colors in this. I counted them up. So there's 2 pages of that, and there were other pages which I'll show you in a minute, but I cut them up. So you get this foundation paper piece kit user's guide. It's 14 pages long. I've read the entire thing. It does kind of tell you how to paper piece. I don't know that I'd spend this much money if you haven't paper pieced before. I'd try something smaller, get used to how to paper piece, then jump into one of these. This is a lot of money to spend if you don't know how to do it. But if you watch me, you can also you'll also be able to see how to do it. So the color map is what I showed you right back here. That's our color map. And they talk about that. It talks about our color code list. This is the other colors I told you I cut up. It talks about a cut list and the foundation paper pieces. It talks about the pattern details that you're going to see as you're going along. Constructing the quilt top, because each there are sections, like A sections, that have to, like this A3 is going to be 2 pieces you have to put together. So they talk about that. Final quilt assembly, they show you how to lay it out and then how to piece it together. And then a visual paper piecing guide in the back. And some legit tips. So they're telling you to make copies of more complex patterns. I may, as I'm going through, make just copies of some of these. I am not going to make a copy of the whole thing. That is way too much stuff to do. So there we go. That was very helpful, and I read it from front to back, even though I know how to paper piece. Again, this is the assembly guide, and in here, in the paper pieces, you're going to have different pieces of paper. One will be for A3A, one will be for A3B. You put each together, and then you sew the 2 together along that seam, and that's what it's showing you here. Like, this is a more complex one that has 4 of these sections, and it shows you how to sew them together in which seam will be the first, second, and third. So we have a lot of these pages. I believe there's 17 of these pages for your help when you're putting this together. And I've never had anything like that before in a pattern. All right. This must be if you get the fabric kit. This is every color in here. Let me get these separated. So, if you get their fat quarter yard, which I guess is a fat quarter, these are all the pieces that you're going to need out of that fat quarter, and they kind of show you, these are not the actual templates. They're just showing you the best way to cut these out of your piece of fabric. These are all the pieces that are going to utilize that color. So this is 1/8 of a yard, so I don't have any fat 8s, so I won't be able to do it this way, but I'm going to do my best to get these pieces out of the fabrics that I have. But if you were to buy the kit, you would have all these sizes, and you can see how to cut them out of your pieces. So that is very interesting and very helpful if you have the fabric kit. And again, these aren't the actual templates. You have to do that yourself. Here's the paper pieces. And what this is showing you is this is A1, which from our, where are you? Here we are. A1, let's look at it this way. So this is A1, it's just going to be all black, and that's how big it's going to be. So you could probably cut a piece that's this big. So A1's going to go there. So A2 has 4 pieces in it, and the letter of the color that you need is printed in the background of each piece. So the first one, number 1, is going to be black. Number 2 is going to be V, whatever color that is. You could probably find it on our color chart back here. And it's alphabetical, so V is going to be cornflower. And then GE is going to be grape mist. And number 4, this little piece down here, CH, which is orchid. And then A2, that's the piece that's right here. So I like that it's telling you what color is back here. So you can go through, and I alphabetize my colors so that when I need a color, I know where to go. I can look for it very easily. So, and then, yeah, and then it says A2 right there. So here's one that's going to have to go together in sections. This is A3A and A3B. So you would put this together, and then you would put this together, and then you would put them together along that seam there, and we'll have an 8.5 inch piece of paper, and that's what's going to go there in A3. So that's how this is all set up here. And if you go back to this, I don't even know what I did with it now. My 1 of 17, it's back here. These pages, it'll tell you, I showed you how it tells you how to put these together. So you can see G4E is very complex. So it tells you how to put all the seams together. This is going to be, these are going to be the first two pieces. That'll be seam 1. So there is a lot in here to help you put this together, but it doesn't paper piece it for you. So that is the kit. There is a lot here to help you put this together, which is nice. I mean, it's not a cheap pattern. I think I spent maybe $80 on the pattern alone. And it may be upwards of $400 to get the kit and the pattern together. And they have lots of other things besides skulls. So these are my fabrics. And my mom helped me go through all my solids and match up the colors. So we had about 4 or 5 sheets of paper in here that had these little, they had these on them, the colors. And this, well, and I cut them out, and it shows you the color. It shows you the code they use, AR, which we saw. It tells you the name of the color, carnation. I guess that's the Kona cotton number. And that you need a fat 1/16 of a yard of this. I have this in alphabetical order, so here's all my A's. My A's. All right here, and it doesn't go by color. I don't know how they did their system, but there's my B's. So when I'm looking, when it tells me I need like BC, I can go directly to my B's and find it. I won't be searching through this humongous pile, and this is only half of it, of fabrics. All right, so that's the kit. That's how I did my fabrics. You missed out on the 2.5 hours my mom and I put into putting these fabrics together. My goodness, there's so much here. I'm gonna need help probably putting this back in. Anyway, I'll leave it out. 2.5 hours to put these together, and like I said, we cut these out. They suggest cutting a piece of fabric and then adding it to this, but I decided to do the opposite. I cut these out and put it on the fabric. I think it's going to be easier personally to find my fabrics that way. And let's see, in this one, I don't have a lot of browns, I found out. So these are colors I still don't have fabrics for. And this one, I need 3/8 of a yard. And we just couldn't find a fabric that I had a lot of this. So I'm going to try to figure out what to do about these. So my Solid of the Month Club from Fat Quarter Shop for November of 2023 is going to be Barn Owl colors. I'm hoping I get some brown in there. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for, is for that month to come in and see if I get brown. But I'm just keeping them in this bag for now so they don't get mixed up with anything else. I have plenty to do before I have to do any brown, because I can pick and choose from all of these to start working. So if it has a brown or that ice lemon or whatever it was called, lemon ice, I can skip that page and go on to a different paper piece. All right, there you go, peeps. That's what a legit kit looks like. I am so excited to start this. I cannot wait till it's done. And I have so much of this fabric left that you don't see here that when I get done with this, I may pick out something else that's very colorful, because I have a lot of colors to do. Let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Or have you done a legit kit? Let me know if you've done a legit kit and what you think about it. And let me know what you did if you did it. Which pattern did you do? I think they have a Santa Claus coming out, which would be cool, but it's a lot of whites and reds, so I don't have a lot of that. But anyway, this was fun. I'm looking forward to this. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and I will walk you through the paper piecing of this so that you can see what that's like and see how it's going for me, and maybe inspire you to do one of these in the future. Maybe inspire you to do a paper piece, because I love paper piecing. I think it's fun. I will see you in the next video. Bye.